Hello, Mrs. Dibie's class. It's Mrs. Belatesh, and today we are going to start an engineering challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun, so let's go over what is the engineering challenge. So we are going to do an engineering challenge. And when you do an engineering challenge, you have a problem that you need to solve. Engineers solve problems. That's what they do. So the problem that I'm going to give you is that you have to build a toy that moves, and you have to build it yourself. You can't buy the toy. You have to make a toy. You have to design and build a toy that moves by either a push or a pull, okay? Now, there are some limits or some constraints. So the constraints that I'm going to give to you is that you cannot go out and buy all kinds of different things. You can only use materials from the bag that you have or from household items around. You are not going to have help from your parents. If you have a brother or sister who wants to work with you, that's fine. But this is your work, not your parents' work. Nobody's going to be making a soapbox car or anything like that. Fancy, simple project, okay? The next thing after we have our constraint is to brainstorm at least 2 ideas. Now, I already did some of this. So here's my science notebook. I put the date at the top. I put the engineering challenge. I said problem, make a toy that moves from a push or a pull. 2, must use common household materials or from the bag. 3, brainstorm. So I had some ideas. When I was a little kid, there was this thing called a clacker, and it was like a stick or a handle and 2 strings and 2 balls. And you went up and down, pushing and pulling, and the balls would go up and down, clack, 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 clack. And if you were really good, it would go clack, 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 really loud for a long time. It was kind of annoying, a sound. I would think my parents would be quite annoyed by it. But that was one idea I had. Also, there was this game where you could have a stick and you have a ball and the ball goes into the cup. That's super fun. I could build a car, something like what we'd been doing. Or I was also thinking of the twirly bird. I could design something that would use wind to move. Okay, so now choose an idea and plan. So I chose to make that stick with the ball. So that's the one that I chose, and then I made a plan. So here's my plan. It's not incredible. So I have a stick, I have the cup, I have a string, and then I have a ball. And then it says build and test. Well, I already built it. Here's my toy. So it has my name on it. This is a paint stick. I actually gave all of you guys a paint stick if you want to use it for this. I have a cup, I have a string, and I put a little ping pong ball on it. And what you do for my toy is you swing it. Oh. Yay! It's a fun toy. So now that I've built it, I can make some improvements. So I might make some changes to this to make it a better toy. Now, I have some other ideas that I wanted to share with you. So in terms of the wind, we made these before. These are these spinny things, right? And when I just got a paper plate, but you could use paper, and you make a spiral, and as you move it, as the wind moves it, it spins. So that's a fun toy. I also used some of the materials from the bag to make kind of a car. So you guys need to do all of these things. You need to brainstorm at least 2 ideas. You can make a plan. You can draw it. You can build and test it, and you should improve it. It is totally fine with me if you copy something that I've done. The only thing is that you have to then draw in your notebook all the forces that are acting upon it, right? You still have to do all of these things, and then you need to draw in your notebook and list all of the forces, all the push, all the pull, all the gravity pulling, all the wind resistance, all of those things, and what you would do to improve it. So I hope you have a fun time with this engineering challenge. I just want to review a little bit that an engineer is a person who solves problems. They're a little different from scientists. Scientists are people who ask questions, they wonder why, they want to know why something happens. And they get a lot of information, scientists do. Engineers take the information from scientists and they solve a problem. Now, engineers follow a process. They follow the engineering design process. Like what we did, we asked the question, what was the problem? We looked at the constraints or the limits, how much money we have or how many materials we have. They brainstorm an idea, they make a plan, they build it, they test it, and they improve it on it. Engineers are constantly improving on the technology that they build. All right, have fun with this engineering challenge, guys. I can't wait to see what you do.